Blessed are the clean of heart, for they will see God. Welcome back to Elements of Faith 2.0. I'm Billy Cross, and today we're going over the 6th Beatitude. And this one is probably one of the most simple. And God's truths, what God is trying to tell us is usually something simple. What we want in our lives, love your neighbor as yourself. It's the greatest commandment. And they're like, Master, why are there so many things that you're telling? Like, why are there so many commandments? How do you, he's narrowed it down to 10 commandments, 10 things God's asking them to do. And then we still ask, we're overcomplicating because we still ask, God, but what's that one? What's one thing? He's like, love your neighbor as yourself. But a lot of these Beatitudes, they are very simple truths, but in our reception of them, we complicate everything in our head. But this one is pretty blatantly simple. The more clean of heart, clean of mind, clean of soul, the more purity of heart, purity of mind, purity of soul, the more we strive for that, the more we'll be able to see God. Not just see God in other people and things, we'll be able to see God in our own lives, in ourselves. That the more holiness that we're surrounding ourselves with, the more holiness we'll be able to see in other people. And the way that we'll be able to interact with other people is see their worth. We'll be able to not just, see someone at face value and just, oh, that's just a random person, but we'll be able to see their soul. And I think a really easy way to understand this, I'm watching the Lord here for Father. A really easy way to understand this one is you get out what you put in. Your life, that's what life is. You get out what you put into it. If you're not putting in a lot, if you're not praying a lot, if you're not trying to learn more about Christ, learn more about the Scriptures, deepen your faith, well, then you're probably not going to be able to see God. You're going to struggle with God. You're going to struggle in your faith. You're going to struggle with people who are trying to maybe even bring it to you. And I went through all that. I went through a lot of times, a lot of days where I just wasn't praying, and over again, it's like I wasn't praying, I wasn't really doing anything. When it comes to faith, I was just showing up for Sunday Mass, and I'm like, ugh, I don't even see God here. I don't see God in this. Well, guess what? Because I'm not looking. That's why we don't see God, is because most of the times we're not looking. Because as soon as we start looking, it is hard not to see Him. It is so hard not to see Him. So going through this next week, this video is going to be a little bit shorter because it's just a simple truth for us to digest. But going into this next week, what are more things that how do we surround ourselves with holiness? Is it more things that need to be on my phone? If I'm on my phone all the time, how about I put more apps that are like iBreviary or the Divine Office app or Catholic Daily Prayers? And if you don't have the Bible app, you should probably get the Bible app on the phone if you can do that. But like if I'm on my phone, if that's a source of distraction in my life, maybe distraction from God, how do I put God there? If there are things like at my job, if my job is maybe going crazy and that's a distraction from seeing maybe sanctity in people, how do I put God? How do I put something on my desk? How do I put a little crucifix? How do I keep a rosary on my desk? Where do I, putting God into all of it? That we get out what we are putting into it. And look at those places in our lives, those moments in our lives that are difficult, that are filled with tension, that do distract us from, the goodness that is in ourselves and in other people. And where do we just slap God right on the front of it? There are times where if I'm struggling with a lot, I change the background of my phone even, or my lock screen to image of Mary or Jesus, because the first time I open that up, I'm opening up my phone and I got to look at the Blessed Mother before I get distracted. And I'm like, okay, Blessed Mother, I got you. All right. Help me not be so distracted. But yeah, look at those moments this week and really just search and seek to surround yourself with Him, with holiness. Because blessed are the clean of heart, for they will see God.